everyone. Thank you for meeting me on the mat today. We're going to do a little simple practice today to connect into our bodies. A little bit of movement in different planes. So we're going to start with laying down, then we'll come up and do a little bit in table, and we'll sit in the chair for a little bit and work the hamstrings. And then we'll do a little kind of a lunging flow with the chair, and then we'll settle back in for some small little twist, and then we'll head into final relaxation. So I'd like to dedicate this class today to Marvelous Marvis, who was in my 5 o'clock Tuesday night class, who just passed away last Wednesday. And she was just a fabulous person, and I will never forget her. So this is in honor of Marvis and her family. So take your time here, either sit down, you can sit in your chair, or if you'd like, you can begin to lay down. So find that comfortable position, settling in. Support yourself where you need to be supported. Then begin to close your eyes. In whatever way you're showing up here, wherever you may have been, gather your whole self up and let yourself know you're welcome here. Whether you're showing up with expectations or with fears, whether you're showing up in joy or in sorrow, take a moment to greet yourself exactly as you are right now. Gather yourself up and welcome all of you, your mind, your body, your breath. Sit or lie for a moment and welcome yourself, along with each breath as it fills you. Welcome your breath into your body. Welcome your mind into your breath. Welcome your body into the room. Your breath is always welcoming you. Meet your breath with your body. Greet your breath with your body. Take a moment to be with your breath. Take a moment to be with yourself. When we feel welcomed, we show up more. So as you continue to follow your breath, take a moment to travel through your body, starting at the tips of the toes, working your way up the legs to the pelvis, hip joints, rib cage, head, neck, and shoulders, and your arms. Just noticing how you're feeling. Become aware of any areas that are calling attention to themselves. Make sure you honor yourself with your movement today. Always loving kindness from within. No pain, no discomfort, and if you're not breathing, something's right. So let your breath and the sensations in your body be your guide. If you're sitting, take your time as you begin to lay down. If your legs are outstretched, begin to bring your feet back to the floor with the knees bent. The arms rest, a little bit of external rotation so you feel supported through the upper body. A little action through the feet as you feel grounded with the earth. Begin to activate the legs. And we're starting nice and small here, just following the breath as it moves through the low belly. As you inhale, feel the gentle pull of the belly upward as it draws your tailbone forward. As you exhale, feel the gentle pull of the pelvis back, elongating the low back to the floor. Just soft, easy motion. And if this is feeling natural and good, make it a little bit bigger. Actively rolling towards your tailbone on your inhalation. Actively rolling the sacrum back. Just massaging into the low back. Releasing any tension through the middle of the body here. Nice deep breaths. Begin to draw the pelvis back into its neutral position. You can stay active through the legs so you feel grounded. We'll warm up the upper body a little bit here. So we're going to begin to slowly turn the head towards the right, keeping the attention on the left side of the neck. Remember, no pain, no strong sensations. Everything should feel good. Pausing where you need to, maybe adding on a little bit more. If you'd like to add a little counterweight, lift your right arm up. Rest it on the left side of the head. Let the shoulder soften down away from your ear. Resisting head to hand, hand to head. Maybe rolling the head a little bit more. Maybe even tucking the chin in towards the top of the shoulder. You can find your breath, stay with your breath. Now draw Draw the chin back up. Slide your right hand over to the right side of your face as you gently roll your head back to center. And then you can release your right arm. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll do the same thing on the left side. So start to slowly roll your head towards your the left side as you pay attention to the right side of the neck. Remember, easy sensation, easy breath. If you'd like to add the counterweight, lift your left arm up, resting the fingertips on the side of the head, softening that left shoulder back into the floor. Begin resisting head to hand, hand to head. Maybe roll the head a little bit more. Maybe even tucking the chin towards the top of the shoulder. Draw the chin back up, slide your hand over to the left side of your head, gently roll the head back to center, release the left arm. Take a couple breaths here, and then begin to release the chin softly towards your chest. It'll be a very small movement, just create a little length in the back of the neck. Release the tipping of the chin, take a few breaths. Then we'll warm up the lower body. So as you press strongly into your left foot, begin to draw right leg in towards your chest, slide the hand behind the thigh, then press firmer into that left foot, maybe draw the right leg a little closer into the body, keeping the tailbone lengthening down towards the floor, breathing into the low back. Now begin to back the leg up. Now you're going to bring your right hand up to the right knee. Settle your neutral spine. You can keep your left foot on the floor with the knee bent or begin to extend it out. Take a couple breaths and then we'll warm up the hip a little. Begin to gently rotate the leg open to the right. Come back through center. Let the left hand gently guide across the midline. Can you maintain your mountain posture here so you're grounded with the earth? Only moving the femur within the hip joint. Arms are just creating a little bit of resistance. Next time you're heading across the midline, if you'd like to go into a twist, open your right arm out to the side. Strong resistance of your leg into your hand as you gently twist towards the side. Rolling across the pelvis, stacking the pelvis. Hugging the thighs towards each other, maintaining your neutral spine. Easy twist, deepening the stretch into the outer hip. Maybe even deep into the glutes. Take your time, use your core to rotate back onto the spine. Take a couple breaths as you bring your right hand behind the leg again. Left foot comes back to the floor with the knee bent, soften down into the right leg for a couple breaths as you begin wiggling your toes, a little pointing and flexing. Some circles around the ankle, changing your direction. Come back through center. You're going to start to line your leg up. You want to create what I call chair leg. So hip point, knee, center of your foot are lined up. Thigh is softly angled in. Now firmly resist hugging those leg muscles into the bone as you begin to resist the straightening of the leg, moving from the femur, resisting foot into the ceiling. If you're feeling a little tight, you may want to create that resisted straightening and bending a little bit. Easing into the back line, maybe a little internal, external rotation. Again, some pointing and flexing. Just kind of waking up that back line. We'll deepen the stretch a little bit more when we come to sitting. So take a couple more breaths. Now if you'd like to challenge your core, set your neutral. Press down into that left foot. Organize the right leg, reaching out through the heel. Remember, this is neutral. You do not want your spine rotating back onto the floor. Pelvis is neutral, low back curve. If you're feeling it just in your hip flexors, you're better off not doing this. Wait till you gain more strength. Then once that leg gets down, take a couple breaths. Let it wiggle a little bit. Then press more firmly into that left foot to bring your right foot back to the floor with the knee bent. And then just a little gentle rocking here. Just soften the hip flexors, releasing tension in the low belly across the pelvis. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. So take a couple more deep breaths, reestablish your mountain spine, then press into that right foot, drawing left leg in. Slide your left hand behind the thigh, gently draw the leg inward as you continue some nice firm pressure through the right foot so you stay grounded. Can you breathe into your low back? Now soften your hold on that left leg. Gently draw it back. Find your mountain spine. Left hand, left knee. Now, if you would like, you can extend your right leg out along the floor. Now take your time. Begin to spiral the leg open to the left. Come back through center. Right hand will gently guide across the midline. In working from a mountain spine, pelvis is quiet, spine is quiet. Just articulating the femur in the hip joint. Now next time you're heading across the midline, if you would like to deepen into that twist, left arm opens out to the side, strongly resist, left leg into your right hand, stack the pelvis, gently rotating towards the right. Remember, staying grounded through the shoulder girdle, open through your heart, breathing into the left side body. Take a couple more breaths. Use your core to rotate back onto the spine. Take your left hand behind left leg, thoughtfully bring your right foot back to the floor, reestablish mountain, and then soften your left leg down into your hand. Relax your foot as you begin to wiggle your toes. A little pointing and flexing. Some circles around your ankle. Spread the toes as you go, changing your direction. Bring yourself back to center. Release that left hand. Start to line your left leg up. Remember that chair leg position, lining up the bones. Thigh softly angled in. You're gluing your foot into the ceiling. Then resist that first straightening. If it's feeling good, you can hold the leg up. If it's feeling a little tight, you may want to straighten and bend a little bit. Remember, this is not about moving your knee. The knee moves because the joints are pulling on it. The muscles will move your joints. Next time that leg is towards straight, you do a little internal-external rotation, a little pointing and flexing. Some nice circles around the ankle, changing your direction. And then come back through center. If you'd like to challenge your core, remember you can also just place that left foot to the floor with the knee bent and gently rock. If you want to challenge, take your time. Organize that left leg, nice mountain spine, press with the right foot. Controlling the descent of the left leg down to the floor. Make sure you're breathing, maintain your mountain. Relax into this, strengthen your entire body, your entire core. Once the leg gets down, let it gently rock. Now press firmly into that right foot. Mindfully bringing your left foot back to the floor with the knee bent. A little pressure your feet, a very soft rock. Again, softening the belly and your hip flexors. Now as you come back through center, begin to draw the energies of your feet into each other. We're going to come into bound angle, so strong resistance of your feet pressing into each other, grounded with the floor, as you use the inner line of the leg to gently open the hips out to the side. Sure you're lining up the bones. You don't want to be sickling into your ankle. You want to line up the leg bones so you're not putting any torsion into your knee joints. So it's not about getting your knees to the floor. It's about just working where you're getting a comfortable stretch to the inner line of the legs. Take a couple more breaths, and then begin to slowly close the legs. Soles of the feet come back to the floor. If there's any other little bit of movement that you would like here before we transition, I'm going to bring my knees to my chest for a moment, just kind of rock, give myself a little massage. And then when you're ready, take your time, gently shift your hips opposite way you're going to roll, so you can roll onto your side. Start to back your head up into your bottom arm. Line up your body as if you're sitting in a chair. Make sure you're hugging your thighs towards each other. Level off your pelvis. Take a few breaths. And then you can press firmly into the right hand, extending left leg away as you begin to draw yourself up. We're going to come over for table pose for a few moments and work here a little bit. So take your time. Get your shoulders lined up over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Are you shoulder width? Are you hip width? Can you then back your head up. You want to start to find your mountain position for your spine, externally rotating the arms, pushing the earth away, pressing a little more firmly down into the shins, a nice hug and pull out of the legs. Feel this baby plank pose. Remember, if the shoulders, wrists, or knees are bothering you today, you can sit quietly and do some easy movements either on the chair or the floor as you do the cat's breath from there. So taking your time, exhaling as that belly draws in, tail's going to lengthen towards the floor, gently rounding the upper back. Let the head follow the action. And then as you inhale, as that belly draws downward, tail gently draws back and up, heart center draws forward. So try to keep a little resistance into the head. So you're resisting your chin in towards your neck, so you're not throwing your head and your neck around. Can you integrate this motion so it's coming from your entire core? Nice, easy breath. So complete the cycle of breath that you're on. Come back to your neutral. We're going to come into a child's pose. So you're going to start to let your hips open outward. Your knees will start to move towards the outer edges of your mat. Big toes move towards each other. Keep resistance with your legs as you use the arms with external rotation to begin to draw the pelvis back. Make sure it's comfortable for the knees and the hips. Spine maintains more of a mountain position. Can you feed your head through without putting compression in your neck? Or is it better for you to fold your arms underneath your head, giving yourself some support? Breathing into the hips, breathing into your spine. Take a couple more breaths, then begin to extend the arms out. Get them externally rotated. Lift up the upper body, find mountain. Then as you create resistance with the arms, use your legs to draw yourself back in. And then you can start to come up to standing and find your chair. So if you need your blocks, if the chair is handy, you can use your chair to start to draw yourself back up. And then make sure you place your chair, make sure 2 of the legs are on your mat and that your blocks are handy just in case you need them. Sorry about the butt shot there. And then you have your strap. You're going to work the hamstrings a little bit. So we're going to sit comfortably for a couple breaths and kind of warm up the upper body a little bit more. So we're going to come into a nice side bend. So make sure you're sitting more towards the front of your chair. Start to line yourself up, just like I talked about sitting in a chair when you were laying on your side. Now you're actually sitting in the chair, but become the chair. The chair is just giving you slight support. You want your core to create this action. So firmly planted in the feet. Legs are nice and lined up. Backing the body up so you find your neutral. Take a couple breaths. And we're going to come into a side bend. So bring your right arm across your rib cage, left arm down by your side as you begin to externally rotate. Palms begin to roll up. Inhaling, lifting the arm up comfortably. No shoulder pain. And then let the ribs just gently rotate towards the right. Remember, you can open the arm into cactus. Maybe turn your head so you're looking down past your right shoulder. Breathing into the left side. Now as you inhale, bring your head back to neutral first. Create a little resistance, reaching up through the left arm. Begin to pull your way back up, drawing the ribs back into the body. Exhaling, left arm down. Now we're going to change sides. So left arm across the rib cage, right arm by your side. Begin to create some external rotation of the arm. As you inhale, begin to draw the arm up, keeping that rotation. And then maybe begin to let those ribs shift to the left. To the right. There we go. My first right-left challenge. That didn't take long. And then you can begin to turn the head towards the left. You inhale, bring your head back first. Reach up through that right arm. Pull the ribs back in. Exhaling, arm down. Now we're going to bring our hands to the heart for a little twist. So active legs. fingertips, palms together, whatever's most comfortable. Make sure your thumbs are resting somewhere along your sternum. Gently back the head up, that ramping action, chin resisting in towards your chest or your neck. And then take your time as you exhale. Use your core to turn towards the right. Remember, the head stays lined up. It's following the spine. You're in mountain spine here. Now, if you'd like to create a little deeper twist, you can release your left arm across your right leg. Left arm or right arm can start to extend out over the chair. I'm going to keep mine at my heart. I'm going to start to turn and look out past my right shoulder. Make sure you can breathe into the twist. Active through the legs. We're rotating around the rib cage. The lumbar spine stays pretty neutral. Now, as you inhale, bring your hands back to your heart. Use that left side to pull you back to center. Take a couple breaths. And now we'll go to the left. Active legs. Firmly press into the palms. Exhaling to the left. Remember, your head follows. The head's not leading. Make sure you can breathe into your twist. Maybe turn the head and look out past your left shoulder. Would you like to take your right hand across the left leg? Maybe extend that left arm out. I'm going to keep mine at my heart. Now, as you inhale, bring the head back first. Hands back to the heart. Use that right side to pull you back to center. Take a couple deep breaths, and then we're going to let the hips open a little bit. This is where you may need a block. You can place it down between your legs. So as you let the hips open a little bit, sitting up on your sit bones, get the hug in, pull out. Make sure you're matching up the lower leg with your feet. Now take your time here. Use your hands at your core. Begin to gently rotate forward, releasing your forearms to the upper thigh. Lengthen the spine. If you'd like, you can release the hands to the block. Maybe you can go all the way to the floor, but you don't want to have a rounding to the upper back. You want to have a nice long spine. This is about the hinging of the pelvis. Making sure you can breathe. If you're finding the breath is challenged, most likely you've over-rounded into your upper back. So can you maintain more of a mountain spine? Just adding some load to the hips. Nice neutral spine means you're creating more strength in those stabilizing muscles of your spine, of your core. Take a couple more breaths. If you've gone deeper, begin to open back up. Hands come to the heart or the upper thigh. Hug the upper arm bones in. Gently press down to come back up. And walk the feet back in. So you can get rid of your block and you can grab your strap. So send a loose strap loop down so you can get the ball mound of your right foot. Create some resistance here. Again, make sure you've lined back up into your nice table mountain or chair mountain. And then you can start to extend the leg out. Can you line up the leg bones? Hip point, knee, center of your foot. Can you reach out through the heel? Can you gently curl the toes back? How does that back line of your leg feel? If it's really intense, you may want to soften the leg up or soften your foot. It takes time to get those hamstrings. If it's not a lot of pull at the back of the leg, start to hinge forward. Again, it's not about getting your head to the floor. It's about hinging, set bones drawing back as you reach out through the foot, only going to where it's comfortable for you. Again, easy sensation. If it's all in your sit bone attachments, you've gone way too deep. You want to feel it at the back of your leg. Now as you inhale, strongly resist as you hinge your way back up. And then you can release the strap. Right foot comes back in. Now send that loop down again. Catch that left ball mound. Again, organize your nice sitting chair pose here and then start to extend your left leg out. Can you line up hip point, knee, center of your foot? Can you reach out through the heel, gently curling the toes back? If there's a strong sensation, soften the leg up a little bit, soften your foot. Ease into the sensation. If you're finding there's not a lot of pull on those hamstrings, you can start to hinge straight forward. Drawing sit bones back, reaching out through the heel. Finding your breath. Stay with your breath. Couple more breaths. Begin to hinge your way back up. Soften the leg. You can take the strap away. And we're going to work our way up to standing so we can start to work with our lunging. So hands at the heart. Get very active to the feet. That strong hug out, pull out of the legs. Begin to hinge forward. Press that tail back. Can you hover over your chair? Did you line your legs up? Backing the head up. Find mountain with your spine. Then when you're ready, resist the pressure through the feet to begin to straighten the legs. And then you can bring your chair to the front of your mat. If lunging's not your favorite, you can keep your chair back towards you and just step back into a soft lunge. Or if you're finding you'd like to go a little deeper today, make sure you have the chair seat towards you, comfortable distance from your chair. Find mountain first. Line your body up. We're going to go through chair to strengthen the legs a little bit and organize movement better. So when you're ready with your hands at your heart, create your strong hug and pull out of the legs. Pressure through the palms, activating the core. Begin to sit back. Press the tailbone or tail back. Begin to sit down. Then hinge forward. Release your fingers to the chair edge. Start to step your right leg forward. Get the shin on the chair edge. You want to line up your knee and your ankle. Hug thighs towards each other. Level off the pelvis. Then start to step the left leg back. So as you hug in, you want to begin to pull that heel away from the floor, coming up more onto the ball mound and the toes. Make sure you've widened out your legs appropriately so that you're not feeling any pinching or jamming in the hip joint. Then can you open up away from the leg as you continue that nice strong hug in. If you're feeling really strong today, you can gently cup the hands, placing the backs of the hands on top of the thigh. Or maybe even inhaling into crescent. Now as you exhale, begin to release the arms down. Right hand's going to come across the low back. Left hand's going to come in front of your right knee. As you press strongly back into the left leg, lengthen up through the side body, gently twisting towards the right. Softly opening through the right shoulder. Remember, keeping your head lined up. Resist the chin in towards your neck. Keep the strong hug into the legs. Feel stable. Feel strong. Now as you inhale, use your core to rotate back towards the chair. Left hand goes back to the left. Right hand goes back to the right. We're going to come into modified pyramid. So I know I need to come up a little bit higher. So I'm going to start to hinge open from my pelvis a little bit more. And then I'm going to start to resist the pull of my right leg straight, or straight like. You don't want to interrupt your spine or your pelvis. So keep the strong hug in. If you have a lot of pull on your hamstrings, especially into the hamstring tension, you may want to open up from the pelvis a little bit more. If you find it started to relax a little bit, you can begin to hinge straight forward. Just releasing the elbows in towards your body. Remember, try not to rely on the chair here. Can you use your entire body to hold you up? Can you breathe? Take your time, begin to open back up. Begin a little softness into that right leg. We're going to step back into down dog. So begin to hinge back through the pelvis, start to step right leg back. Keep the external rotation of the arms, begin to back yourself up. Make sure you found your mountain spine. Then you can walk your feet where you need them. You want to end up with your heels underneath your pelvis. Arms are extending, mountain spine. Come up as high as you need to here to maintain that natural spine. Breathing into this. Plank pose is optional here, so make sure you're comfortable. No shoulder discomfort, no shoulder pain. So take your time. Begin to look up towards your hands. Keep that strong external rotation. Begin to rotate around the shoulder girdle. Keep pressing back through your heels. Can you begin to stack yourself up, shoulders over your wrists. Again, use more of your core than relying on the chair here. Now as you exhale, slowly rotate back. Can you maintain neutral? Nothing should really move here. Take a couple breaths, elongating the spine. You may feel a nice stretch around the upper arms into your armpits, across your chest. So we're going to come back into chair pose. So start to look up towards your chair. I'm coming up onto my fingertips. I'm going to walk forward, and I'm going to sit back. Legs are lined up. Knees are pulling back over your ankles. Hands to the heart. Open up your heart. Create that thunderbolt or a zigzag, and then strongly resist as you pull yourself back up from the resistance of the legs. Take a couple breaths, maybe even wiggle the shoulders, give the arms a little shake, and then we'll do the same thing with the left side. So when you're ready, line up your mountain, get active through the legs, a little pressure into the palms, keep that external rotation, ramp the head back. And take your time as you exhale, strongly resist with the legs as you begin to press the pelvis back and down. Create that lightning bolt. And then release the fingertips to the chair edge. Start to step your left leg forward. Shin on chair edge, knee over ankle. Get that strong hug in. Square the pelvis off to the chair. Then start to step your right leg back. Widen out the legs as much as you need to so you feel comfort in the hip joints. Remember, you want to be pulling the heel away from the floor. You don't want to be pushing the heel back. Strongly hug those legs into the midline. Start to feel grounded with the earth, rebounding away from the earth, using your strength to hold you up. You can keep the hands on the chair. You can cup the hands, bringing the backs of the hands to your chair. Maybe inhale, arms up into crescent. Now as you exhale, begin to spiral the arms down, fingertips back to the chair edge. We're going to come into modified pyramid. So I'm going to open up a little bit more. I'm going to begin to resist the pull of that left leg back, keeping that strong hug in. I don't want to interrupt my back. I want to stay in mountain as much as I can. Check in now with the back line of your left leg. Can you maybe hinge forward a little bit more? Gently drawing elbows in towards the body, keeping that spine long, strong hug into the thighs. Start to transition into down dog. So start to open back up. Little softness into that left leg. Begin to press the pelvis back. Elongate the arms with external rotation. Find mountain for your spine. Then get the feet. Ankles end up underneath your pelvis. Create a nice long spine from fingertips to pelvis. Active legs. Remember, you can also sit back a little bit if you want to take a little load off the hamstrings. It's also a nice butt stretch. So breathing into it. Like to revisit plank, take a couple breaths, press down to the chair as you look up towards your hands, revolve around the shoulders end up over wrists, make sure you're not hanging onto the chair for dear life. You want the energy drawing straight down the arms to the floor. You don't want the energy drawing to the back of the chair. The chair will start to push out from underneath you. Can you breathe? Make sure you're not holding your breath. Now as you exhale, take your time coming back into down dog. Elongate arms, mountain spine. End up with your pelvis over your heels. Breathing. Take your time. We're going to come down to the floor here to do a shoulder stretch on the chair. So I'm going to start to look up and I'm going to roll across my feet as I begin to draw my knees down to the floor. So take your time coming out. Be mindful of how you're moving here. You don't want to cause any strain or damage on your knees. So once you get down to your knees, you're going to bring your backs of your elbows to your chair edge. Palms are going to come together. Make sure you're drawing your ribs in. Chin is resisting in towards your neck. Walk the legs back a little bit, and then can you begin to draw the pelvis back, maybe fitting your head down through your arms, maybe relaxing the forehead into the chair. Remember, you don't want to become into this rounding and swaying of the back. So front ribs draw into the back body. Keep the spine as neutral as you can. Think about reaching out through the elbows, pulling the shoulder heads back, maybe extending the arms out along the chair back. Breathing into the upper back, across the heart. You don't have to get your head to the chair. Work where it's comfortable for you. Then you begin to bend the arms again, bring the palms together. Now firmly press down into the backs of the arms. Begin to lift yourself up. And then you can start to get the chair out of your way. And we're going to work our way down to sitting. So find a comfortable sitting position. Doesn't have to be bent leg. It can be bound angle. It can be more of a staff position. You can even stay in your chair if you like. Okay. So take a couple moments here. Settle into the body. Realign your mountain spine. Remember, legs are active, so you're hugging thighs in with resistance. Press out through the ball mounds of your feet. Start to feel grounded and active. And we're going to do a little shoulder stretch. It's one of my favorites, but it's more about opening the heart and relaxing into the front side of the body. So begin to lift your right arm up, straight out from the shoulder. Get that external rotation, gently draw the shoulder head back. We want to maintain as much neutral space here as we can. Now begin to draw the arm just across the midline. You don't want the shoulder popping up or compression. Then you can bring that left hand across the upper arm of the right side here between the elbow and the shoulder. Create some resistance here. Now make sure it's comfortable for your head and your neck here. So create a little resistance first, chin in towards your neck, elongating, and then resist your left ear towards your left shoulder. Finding the breath. Are you open across your heart? Shoulders should still be level. As you inhale, resist the head back up. And then maybe with that resistance, you can turn the head, chin stays level with the floor, and then maybe tuck the chin down towards the top of the left shoulder. Draw the chin back up. Bring your head back to center. Now release the left arm, release the right arm, give a little shake, and release it down. And just notice, has anything changed on your right side? What I'm noticing is much more relaxation. My heart feels nice and open. Now do the left side. Begin to extend the left arm out. Get that external rotation. Pull the shoulder head back in. Draw just across the midline. Can you maintain the level shoulders? Then right hand will come to the outside of the left arm between the elbow and the shoulder to create a little resistance. Chin resisting in towards your neck. Maybe resist the right ear towards your right shoulder. So it's not about the ear getting to the shoulder, just changing the sensation in the left side of the neck. Resist the head back up. And then maybe keeping the chin level, turn the head towards the right shoulder. Maybe tuck the chin. Draw the chin back up. Bring the head back to center. And then release the right arm. Draw the left arm back across, a little shake. And release it down. And then just a little lift of the shoulders and kind of wiggling a little side to side of the ribs. Just kind of get tension out of the body. And then we're going to start to work our way down to the floor to come into a twist. We're going to start to prepare for rest. So now would be time, if you feel a little chilled, you can grab your blanket. If you'd like to grab a sweater or something that you have around, just take your time. Remember, easing your way down to your back from the side. You don't want to roll back onto the spine, putting a lot of compression in the vertebrae. So take your time, settle in. Find your neutral. A little external rotation to the arms. Take a couple breaths. So we're going to come into a little twist. You're going to open your arms into a comfortable T shape. And then you start to walk your legs towards the right. Maybe stacking the legs on top of each other. Would it feel good to take your right hand across the left leg? Remember, keep the hug in. You want to stack the pelvis. Maybe turn your head so you're looking out past your left shoulder as you breathe deeply into the left side body. Make sure you're not creating a big back bend here. Can you keep the front ribs drawing into your body as they release down into your waist? Take a couple more breaths. Then you can begin to release the right arm, reconnect the left foot to the floor, start to walk your way back up. Take a couple breaths as you start to resituate, reestablish your mountain spine. And then we'll now twist to the left, open up the right side. So start to walk your legs a little more towards the left. Maybe stacking the legs on top of each other. Remember, always notice what you're feeling in your low back. Would you like to create a little counterweight by bringing your left hand across the right leg, stack the pelvis. Maybe turn your head and look out past your right shoulder. Roll the head back to center, release the left arm, reconnect the right foot to the floor, begin to walk your way back up. Take a couple breaths, reestablish your connection to the earth. Go inside for a moment. What sensations are you feeling? Is your body asking for any other movement? I would like to bring my knees in towards my chest. So I'm going to take my hands behind my thighs. Tail's heavy, back is heavy. Just gently rock side to side, massaging out any tension. Let it all go. Maybe some small circles around the pelvis. Changing your direction. Take a few more breaths. And very mindfully, begin to bring your feet back to the floor with the knees bent. Arms by your side comfortably. Get that external rotation. You can stay here with your feet on the floor with the knees bent. You can come in constructive rest if you like. Knees together, feet wide now a little bit. Or actively extend your legs out along the floor. So you want to maintain mountain here without a big tension building. Maybe let your legs rotate open, but keep a little action. And then start to connect to the earth. Quiet the mind. Just be with your body. Be with your breath. Calling in spirit. We give thanks for our bodies, so strong, so capable. For our breath, which transforms and gives us life. We give thanks to all the beings that walk this path with us and who have taught us, in their own unique way, the lessons that have opened our hearts to love. We ask for the strength that is required as we deepen our commitment to spirit, the patience necessary as we sit turning inwards for new interpretations, and for the acceptance to surrender to all that we don't yet know. May we be granted the wisdom through experience, and in the name of that wisdom may we serve. May we live happily with compassion, creativity, self-acceptance, and faith. May this faith awaken us to our truest self and allow us to see in each other our most magnificent reflection. May there be peace. Just let the mind continue to quiet. Just follow the breath for a few more minutes. Nice and easy. Just be with the breath. Just follow the in and out of your breath. Stay in the moment. Stay with your breath. Couple more nice deep breaths as you start to feel your connection to the earth beneath you. As you inhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes as you're bringing more awareness back into the body. Taking your time as you bring your feet back to the floor with the knees bent. Settling there for a few moments. And then begin to ease your way over to your side. Take a moment. Start to stack your body back up. Shoulders and hips and legs. Back your head up into your bottom arm. Take a few deep breaths. Can you breathe here? If not, readdress where you're laying. Can you stack your body like you're sitting in a chair? Then begin to press your top hand into the floor as you begin to extend your top leg away, as you begin to ease yourself back, finding whatever comfortable sitting posture that is for you. Remember, the chair is there, so you can always sit in your chair. So take a few moments. Don't rush it. Stack yourself up. Feel grounded and connected with the earth so you can elongate and rebound away from the floor, feeling open and grounded and strong. I'd like to thank Denise, who teaches at our studio on Thursday nights. I took her class on Friday, and those two readings she read in her class. So the first one earlier in the class was from Deep Listening, a book that she's used a lot and is beautiful. And in the prayer at the end was by Sean Korn. So thank you, Denise. Thank you, Marvelous Marvis. You'll always be a piece of me. Then you can bring your hands to your heart. If you'd like to do the arm circles, fingertips come to the floor by your hips. Close your eyes if you like. Begin to externally rotate the arms as you inhale. Draw the arms up, drawing energy into the body. As you exhale, release any negative thoughts, anything negative. Let it go. Be positive. Inhale, strength. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let go of any of that negativity. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. See you again soon.